Hey, welcome back. This is episode number 4 of Song Production for Guitarists. I'm Congilio, and we're working with Luna, the recording system from Universal Audio. And if you've watched the first 3 episodes, you've seen me not only give an overview for Luna, but talk about how we can get great electric guitar sounds featuring Universal Audio amplifier plugins, your own amplifier with aux, the amp top aux, and basically how to kind of make all those things work inside of Luna. What we're going to do today is work on tracking an acoustic guitar with a microphone. We'll use Unison technology, and we'll even use a console emulation plugin. One of my favorites, Classic 610B, that is synonymous with Universal Audio. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, normally, when I would do the recording process, I would put an acoustic guitar part down first, but I thought, let's get some electrics down and then go back and have a little fun adding some color with an acoustic guitar part that, in this kind of music, really just creates a nice foundation and a rhythmic element to the song. I think we're going to achieve that with the 2 parts that we'll add. It's going to be pretty fun and perhaps a little eye-opening as far as how my process for recording acoustic guitars on this kind of song is. Okay, let's jump in and check it out. Okay, so just like before, we have to go and create a new track. But you'll notice a few things here. I changed the color of some of my tracks. We can do that over here when we see all of our tracks listed. We can click the little box there, and we can select any color we want from this color wheel. It's a nice way to kind of differentiate your tracks when you're watching a session like this and you have a lot of things going on. We can even change the size of the track here where it says track height, and I can make them all smaller or larger. We'll stick with the default setting for today. We'll click on that last track because when I hit Shift-Command-N, we're going to create a new track, and we're going to call this AC, I like to capitalize, ACL. So that's acoustic guitar left. All right, so we're going to hit OK. We're going to select our input. We're going to go on input number 7. We'll hit record, and we'll see that it immediately goes to mic, and that's important because we want to use a mic signal instead of a line level signal here in this case. We also want to make sure for our instance, we want to have 48 volts pushed. That's phantom power. That's going to send the proper amount of current to our microphone. Now, this green knob right here, or the knob that displays a green sort of sphere around it, I don't know what I would want to say there. Basically, it's the input gain, and that's important because that gives us our level going into Luna, a level of the guitar. So if I spin around and I just play a C chord, well, technically it's a D chord in a C shape. We have a nice level there at about -6, -9, somewhere around there. But what's going to happen here is we have the ability, just like we put a guitar plug-in into the Unison slot, we're going to put a simulated recording console, and we're going to use the UA610B. Now, if memory serves, you get this one for free when you buy an Apollo. And what the heck is this, right? Well, this is an emulation of an old recording console. Now, what's cool about that is we're actually going to be able to put all of the warmth and harmonics and the nuances of what these recording consoles did to instruments in our own recordings, and not just the signal that the digital preamp is giving us. So, from top to bottom here, we have adjustments like how hard we're going to drive the tube preamp here. We have some light EQ. We're going to take advantage of that in a minute. We have some other functionality here like pad controls. If your signal's too hot, you can adjust that. That's for somebody else's video, not here. Overall level, and then an output control. And the output control, think about the level and the output like the gain and the master on your guitar amplifier. You want more crunch, you turn up the level, bring the output down. You can do the opposite as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button here, just always be following my mouse, and we'll hit this CCTF-AC. And that is a little preset I designed. You see here where my mouse is. We're going to instantiate a little 7K EQ, boost it. We're going to boost the level, and it's going to be a warmer sound, hopefully, than just the standard digital preamp. I could turn that off. And back on. So there should be more richness, a little bit more harmonic complexity happening to that. All right, let's lay this track down. But before we do, I just wanted to show you that even though the song's in D, I'm capoing on the 2nd fret, and I'm playing out of C position a lot. And one thing you really want to do is make sure you always retune once you put your capo on. Really, really important. Tuning issues will be revealed tenfold when you record. Trust me. All right, let's try the track. 1, 2. All right, so I think that worked out okay. Let's listen back. We're going to take record off, and let's play a little bit of it. I really like to hear it against the drums. So now what I'll do is I'll pan it to one side. You can see here that I'm got it at about 9 o'clock. And I have the gain pretty high. We can take care of that later in the mix, but I just really want to hear it in context. Okay, so we're going to clean that up, and it's going to really marry in nicely with the rest of those guitars. Let's try another track and make it even fuller sounding. All right, so in this next part, I'm going to play a similar idea. We call this doubling the track, and when you do that, just like we did on our electric parts, it really creates a nice wide spread for us. I'm capoed way up here on the 7th fret, and I'm going to be playing out of the G position because I want the ultimate product to be this large acoustic sound with lower strings and higher strings. I think you'll get the idea once we record it, and then I'll solo it up for us to hear. All right, let's check it out. All right, so we got our parts down. Let's dive in a little bit deeper and see how they sound against everything else. Now, I think the beauty of parts like this, they really shine in, let's say, the verse, because you can hear that muted thing happen while the electric guitars are just kind of creating what we call diamonds, basically whole note strums, that sort of thing. And I think they'll help move the song along, add some nice texture that's not there with the electrics. And then when the chorus comes, they're there as what I call a musical shaker, musical tambourine, or a harmonic tambourine. Because tambourines are important for sure. And if we don't have one, an acoustic guitar really does the trick for us. So I've soloed up the drums, the bass. Let's just hear the drums and the bass with the acoustics. Let's bring in some electrics. So you can hear how the percussive muted acoustic guitar thing is locking in right with the kick drum there. I like that a lot. Creating that sort of gallop. You could certainly do that with an electric, but the acoustic gives it a different quality, so when the electrics come in a little bit bigger in certain parts, they have more impact. Okay, so let's listen on to the chorus. Let's go to the pre-chorus. Still muting. Now these other electric guitar parts, I really want to have more subtle back in the mix. Let's just take the solo off and listen to everything. Hope you're listening to headphones and you can hear the spread, or some nice speakers that really can show you all these parts. Listen to all our electrics. I love doing this. So what's really valuable about this is it now gives us an opportunity to say, hey, I don't want that delay part happening there, or I do, or I want to take the signature line out. I might take this signature lick out until the turnaround of the song, or it goes out of the chorus, like the post-chorus section. You can make all those little decisions, musical decisions later on. I'll show you in the next video how to do that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So next video, we're going to talk about how to edit our waves a little bit and start some light mixing. And then of course, we'll bounce it to a file that you can play in your car or send your friends or put it on the internet. All right, so there you have it. This has been episode 4 of Song Production for Guitarists featuring Luna, the recording system from Universal Audio. I'm Corey Congilio. Had a lot of fun today. Stay tuned for episodes 5 and 6, where we'll talk about editing your tracks and how to bounce them down so that you can share it with the world. All right, see you then.